Hello everyone, welcome you all to my channel Desi in Deutschland. Today we have Nishan with us and he's gonna tell us about his journey, how did he make it from India to Germany on software testing role. So this is really great opportunity. You must watch this video and let's start. So hi Nishant, how are you?
Hi, Swapna sister. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm also doing great. Thank you. Thanks so much for your time and coming to my channel. And I really appreciate your effort. I would like to know how was your journey and how did you make it? It is really exciting. And would you like to tell us like how did this start?
Okay. I currently work as a QA. I have an experience of 7 years as a QA. Then after I got married, me and my wife decided to move to Germany. So first she got a college degree. I mean, she got into a college. Then I naturally started searching for the job, and I started it on December 2021. To be precise, I created my resume on December 25. Then I started applying for the jobs. So the thing is, we have to keep on applying for the jobs. So you might have to apply for like 10, 20 or up to 50 jobs a day. That's the main thing that we have to do. And basically, we have to put our focus not just to one city, but to all the cities,
All
not
this.
just Berlin. Yeah. So, for
Yeah.
example, if someone wants to move to Berlin, they may first move to some other cities where they get a job, then they can move here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, what I did is in LinkedIn, I had multiple filters, one for QA jobs in Berlin, one for QA jobs in Munich, one for Frankfurt. So likewise, I had filters for all the cities. Then I started every day I would apply for 50 jobs.
Wow.
So that is the thing which I did. So December 25 to Jan 10 15. So I applied for around 600 700 jobs.
Wow,
Uh,
super.
I got interview from three of the companies.
Okay,
And
so you applied for like many job openings and you got reply from three.
I got multiple replies like we are looking into it and you are not rejected, but I got shortlisted for the interview for three companies.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's like really great effort because you have to apply so many places and
Yes.
then hardly you will get like minimum, the process goes for like few of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's amazing. And how did it go? Like when you got the reply from recruiters about like interviews, so how did it start?
So the first round will be the HR discussion round, like where am I from and why would I want this job? What is the salary expectation? And general discussion. What are the technologies that I worked on? So that would be the first round, and followed which there will be one or two technical rounds. And in some companies they will give a task, then there will be a technical round. In some companies there will be a technical round, and in screen share session you will have to do the coding. So
Right.
these things also there. And once there could be one or two technical rounds, and followed which you will we will have a round with CTO and CEOs.
Right, right. So around 4 to 5 rounds, right?
Yes, yes,
Uh, when this process starts, so you will have first HR round, then probably you might get case study for
yes.
task performing, and
Mhm.
then when you submit your case study, then if you go to the next round, you might have to ask for explaining your case study and some technical question related to that, and then probably CEO or CTO round, and
Ye-
then the final
That's
like offer. Yeah.
yeah,
So you have to go through with 4 to 5 rounds when you are
yeah,
into the job process selection or this job searching process, right?
yes.
Well, how was it? Was it like too much tensed, or when this process was going, was that like very difficult, or like how was it like, the difficulty level, if you want to say, like how was it?
So I cannot exactly say how difficult it was, because if you know something, if they ask something you know, then it's easy. If they ask something you don't, it will be difficult. So it's better to mention what we know in resume.
Right.
Let's say that you can do Selenium with Java, Python, C hash, and the opening is for C hash. And if you don't know C hash and if you apply for it, then it's a difficult.
Yeah.
If you know Selenium with Java and the job opening is for Selenium with Java, it'll be really easy.
Yeah. So you have to be very much precise what you know, and you
Yes.
have to write your resume accordingly. And if you know that skill, probably it is good practice to update your resume based on the job description, because keyword search is quite going on. You know, if job description says, like you said, C sharp, and if you have written just like, if you have like very beginner knowledge about C sharp, and if you write it, and probably your resume will get selected. But when your interview will start, it
Yes.
might be C sharp heavy questioning, and you might not be able to answer it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you have to create your resume very precise,
Yes.
and based like on job description. And did you have your resume based on EU standard?
Yes, I created one-page resume. It's a little bit tough because we have to squeeze all our experience into one single page.
Right.
And we have to
Yeah.
show our certifications, we have to show our language proficiency. So we
Your
have to keep,
experience, your entire
yeah,
experience.
yeah. So we have to dump so many data into one single page. It took me 4 to 5 days. I mean, the whole 5 days to create a resume for me.
Right.
That
It's
is
a,
a very
yeah.
toughest part.
Yeah. Did you also have your cover letter?
Actually, I did not have any cover letter, but everyone suggested me to have a cover letter. And also, when you apply for a job, there is an option to apply add a cover letter, which is optional. I was planned. I started applying on December 25th, and I got 3 calls on Jan 10. So what I thought was after Pongal holidays, I would create a cover letter and I would start applying for more. But actually, I got three interviews. Then I didn't have a time to do it. Anyway, I had planned to do it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. So having cover letter is good idea because
Yeah.
it gives you extra information about you to the recruiters. But
Yeah.
without cover letter also, it can, work for you. With
Yeah.
resume, if you have like solid resume, it
Yes.
will work for you.
Yes. Mainly
Yeah.
because the HRs, nowadays they are getting like thousands of resumes. Actually,
Yeah.
the software is choosing the resume, not the actual people. So we have to get the resume very solid to get.
Right. Right. Did you use any website or something for creating your resume?
I
Or
used Canva. Canva, that it's like a photo editor, but they also had a lot of templates for resume.
templates for resume? Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
there are many paid sites, but I don't really uh,
Yeah. But
prefer.
yeah, of course, it worked for you. You have a job right now, so it
Yeah.
worked for you. Yeah. And when this interview process was starting and going on, how was your, status? How you were feeling that time?
So I got shortlisted for 3 companies. Got interview for 3 companies. My aim was to, I didn't, at that time, I didn't have any time to uh, study new technologies or to apply more. So I just wanted to focus on these 3 interviews because as we know that getting interview call is the toughest part. So
Yeah.
I wanted to crack one of them and I did. So it was very intense, I would say. Even though we know something, if we are very nervous on the interview, we might lose it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So HR round is like it's easy because in HR round, HR will just tell you about
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 companies,
yeah, about the
yeah,
company, about the process, and about they want to know a bit more about you apart
right.
from the resume. And when it goes to the next round, let's focus on, because case study is, it depends on you because you would be given like few days to complete it. So it's up to you how you are creating the framework, and how you are writing the code, and how you are submitting it.
Right.
But next, when it comes to the technical round,
Mhm.
so would you like to tell us, like, how was it? Like, was that too intense, or what kind of questions they asked you?
Okay. So the technical round I had was I did not have take home test. but I instead had a screen sharing session, and I had to write code
Cool.
on the screen, and I never thought I would have to do it. So,
Yeah.
and I got a little bit nervous, to be honest. But
Mhm.
I had to do two Java questions and a Selenium code, and the Java questions were a little bit tricky. I mean, not so tricky, but I don't exactly remember the question. Let me take a minute to
Yeah,
recall.
yeah, sure.
We can
Yeah.
put this in video. Mm, it's a data structures related question, like um, I mean, like sorting arrays, and we have
Okay.
to
Okay.
those
Okay.
kind of,
Like that. Like those questions, like
yeah,
sorting or jumble the string or
jumble the, yeah,
traverse the string. Those kind
exactly.
of questions,
Those
right?
kind of questions. Mostly, since I opted for Java, I had to. They were asking questions from the
Yeah.
collections.
Yeah. And what kind of questions you have been asked for the Selenium?
For Selenium, for just face-to-face questions, it was about how to, if there is a, what's the iframe, what's the how to access the Gmail if you want to, how to access the Outlook emails if you how to do it, and what are the frameworks which you have worked on, whether if it's Cucumber or TestNG, and if you have worked on TestNG, what is the structure of TestNG? Can you describe the framework? Apart from the normal questions, like say what is the, how do you choose the drop down, these kind of questions we won't get. Mostly it will be like framework related questions, because if we understand the framework better, we can do the coding easily. Because if you know the framework and if you can crack the Java code, then obviously we can write any kind of code.
Right, right. And also, if you know the framework for small details, you can also Google and you can learn and
Yeah, true.
do it quick. But if you don't know framework, it will be challenging to create entire setup and
Yeah,
then perform automation.
yeah.
Yeah. And after technical interview, when you went further, so it was questioning just interview with the CTO, right? CTO
Yes,
or some higher
higher management, yes.
higher management people. Yeah. So how was it?
So they were, so it was a little bit technical, but not too much. So they just want to know what are all the technologies that I have worked on. And after that, what are the things which apart from the work, what did I learn? So this was the question which I faced in all three companies. So we have to be prepared to be a question from the out of the box. It's not just from your resume. So
Yeah.
apart from your resume, what are the things you learned? And why
Yeah.
did you learn it? So what
Like
are the,
ongoing experience, like when you were working, what kind
yeah.
of situation did you face, and when the situation came, how did you react on it? Like situational based questions, right?
Situational based questions, and they are very interested to know are you updated with the latest technologies. If so, give me example. So what I answered was, I'm working on Selenium with the Java and Selenium with the Python, so I have experience in both. But to be updated on my testing technologies, I also learned Cypress with
Cyprus.
JavaScript,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they are asking few questions from Cypress.
Right. I know because I've seen from like past 2 years in Germany, Cyprus is like
Yeah.
been accepted and adopted so well from all the organizations,
Yes.
and many of them are using Cyprus. So it is, isn't it better to learn Cyprus also if you
Yeah.
know,
True.
Selenium, or if you have proficiency in at least one of the framework, it's better to just learn a little bit about Cypress also,
Yeah.
because people are thinking to change their setup from Selenium to Cypress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were also a lot of scenario based questions. If you get into this kind of trouble with the developers, what will you do?
Yeah.
If you have an issue with your teammate, what will be your action? And why not this? Why not that? And in application wise, let's say you are testing this, but you face this, and you don't want to sign off, but you have a deadline. What will you do? So these kind of management questions are there.
Yeah, nice. And so any advice to other people who are actually in the process, and they are, because normally technical for people, candidates, they prepare themselves for technical interviews,
Right.
but they don't prepare themselves for this kind of interviews where the management will ask such questions. This is more like behavioral questions, because in Germany people want to know like how this candidate will behave when situation goes wrong or situation goes out of the hand. So they do quite a lot of focus on this round. So
Right.
what is your feedback, or what is your guidance about this to
So
other people? Yeah.
what I can say is we cannot like blindly prepare for the management round. So it's better to talk with someone who is in Germany or even in India. If someone has recently had a switch, they can ask their friends on take a mock interview on management round, and also in Quora and in just if you just Google like uh, example management questions or behavioral questions, we will get lot of results. So we have to if we spend like one day with checking Quora, Reddit, or any these kind of sets websites, it will
Mm.
be very helpful. And also, if they have anyone from Germany recently moved to Germany by getting a job, they can also request their friends to take mock interview.
Nice.
This will be
Yeah.
the better idea.
This is
And
really
when
good advice. Yeah, this is really good advice. And yes, people can take some help from
yeah,
other people who are already working in Germany. And
mm,
also they can use some social network where, people
yeah.
are there, like LinkedIn, and they can connect with them and get help.
A
It's
friend of mine
better.
actually took a mock interview for me. Couple of friends that
Yeah.
actually helped me a lot.
Yeah, right. Because I know people are very much sound in technical, but they get rejected after the management round,
Yeah.
because here, if you don't know any, if you're not maybe very bright on the technical side, but if you are really good person,
Mhm.
so they can teach you the technical things. But if behavior is not good, then this cannot be taught, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
so they have to be prepared for this. The more
Yeah.
preparation is needed here too. And for technical side, it's better to learn Cypress as we told,
Yeah.
as we discussed earlier. So and also we have to be strong on what we are working right now. So questions will be more from that. So I would say from the technical point of view, it's better to learn Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, then Cypress with JavaScript. If we cover these three things, then I guess we can cover most of the market.
Right. And about the certification, do you think having certification adds up any advantage on your profile?
Yes, if we complete the ISTQB certification, it adds a lot of value because I see in most of the job opening that we prefer ISTQB candidates.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even they write on the job description that good to have ISTQB certification.
yeah,
So yeah, this is quite good. Yeah.
true.
Yeah. And after when your interview ended and you were in the last stage, how was it? Was that satisfactory about the salary that they are giving you, or did you do any negotiation with HR?
Yeah, I did do some negotiations, and it was the satisfied salary which I got.
Okay. And after that, then did you ask HR for the sponsorship, or how this part went when you
So
were in the
we
process?
had discussion before the technical round. So mostly they will say these are things which we will do. Are you okay with this? If you are okay, we can proceed. If
Yeah.
you're not okay, then we'll have to come to middle ground. Then we have to go for it. So these things happened. These discussions happened even before the technical round.
Right. So they were agree to give you
Yes.
sponsorship
Yes.
when everything goes fine.
Yeah.
That was a relief, right? When
That's
they,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And what happened after when you got your offer letter? Actually, people call a contract here, right? They
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
call it offer letter.
Offer
So
letter.
when you got your contract, and then after that, what are the steps did you take for getting a visa?
So after getting a contract, I went through the contract and I had some doubts, so I got it clarified from the HR. So after that, they processed my visa. I mean, there are two ways which we can, in Germany, we process the blue card visa. One is via fast track, one is the normal method where we have to go to VFS and we have to apply for ourselves and we have to get it. So my company sponsored the fast track process since due to COVID, there were a lot of delays and they don't want to.
In India, it was a problem that they were not getting the dates
For VFS appointment, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my company processed the fast track process where they got all the documents from my end. So they processed in German embassy here in Germany, and they got me a pre-approval. And with the pre-approval, I just had to go to the German consulate in India. So after going to German consulate, I got visa in 3 days.
Wow, because it was fast track. So you got visa for you and for your spouse as well, right?
Yes.
Together. Otherwise, it would have been delayed if you do separately. So it's first thing I want to mention here. It's if you are applying visa from India, it's better to do your spouse, and if you have kids, along with you. Otherwise, family reunion visa is getting delayed, and it's taking quite a lot of time when you apply separately for them.
And
so
the family reunion visa, there's a lot of process. Like your spouse has to process from in Germany, you have to process in India. So there will be two processes going on in parallel. And it's hectic.
Back and forth, your documents will be moving from Germany to India. So it's better when you are there, just do it along with yourself. So once you get visa for all of you, then you can travel
whenever you want.
Then you're free. Otherwise, I've seen many people who are having problem with family reunion visa. And there are a lot of things going on here also, like for the war and for the this corona situation, staff issue. So it's better to react, do it before when you are in India itself. So how was the process? How many documents did you submit? It was like given by the company, or did you research by yourself?
So I did research by myself, and so since they were doing fast tracks, they covered most of the documents. Even not the documents is not very tricky. They will provide contract. They will provide one more document, EZB, which is nothing but the declaration of employment. And after that, these are the two documents which you need from a German employer, even if you want to process visa by yourself. So these two, then followed which your college degree certificates, your experience letters, your cover letter, and your travel insurance. So mainly, if you are going with spouse, you need marriage certificate. So these are the only few documents.
For your spouse, marriage certificate, and for if you have kids, birth certificate.
Birth certificate, yeah.
So and did you submit a degree certificate for your spouse?
No, they didn't ask it.
They didn't ask it. Only the declaration that she's your spouse.
Yeah.
Okay. And this process went fast. How was the visa interview when you went to the VFS? How was it? Like they just took the documentation. Did you give any biometric or something there?
Yeah, I didn't go to VFS, as I said, since I got since my visa is processed through fast track, I had to go to German consulate directly.
So straight consulate, yeah.
Straight consulate. So VFS is like a middleman. Since it's a fast track, we get a premium. We go to the consulate directly. So once I went to the consulate, they collected all my documents and my wife document, and they verified everything. They said, they did ask for biometrics. Then we have to give them DD for 75 euros, I guess.
Yeah, for the documentation.
For the documentation and stuff. So that's it. If you go to VFS, it will take one whole day. But I went to consulate and I was out in 20 minutes.
Wow, so fast.
Yeah,
so advisable, like ask your company or employer to make it fast. And it will just save quite a lot of time for you. From which city did you apply visa?
It's Berlin.
From India. From India, which city?
Chennai.
So it is better to take this fast track option. You can also ask your employer for the service, right? For the visa service.
You can, but fast track cost 400 euros for the employer.
Yeah.
and they have to do a lot of works, like they have to collect all the documents, they have to talk with the immigration office to
Yeah.
process this, and these stuffs are the fast track process, a time bound process.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
will do it, but our employer has to go through a lot of process to make it happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they
But
might or
it's
they might
better
not
to
do.
ask, right? Better to ask just for safer side, because they can give, they are, if they are sponsoring people, so they can also do this effort. Yeah.
Yeah, so they
It's
can ask it,
really,
but if they are okay with the delay in the visa process, let's say if it takes more than 4 months or so, if they are okay with it, then it's cool.
it's okay. Yeah, yeah.
So
So when you got your visa in 3 days, and it is just entry document, right? This not like visa. You have to apply visa here, for the blue card when you arrive.
yeah.
Yeah. So you got your document for entering Germany, and then you flew here with your wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you arrive here, was that the entry easy? Like, when you cross the border and the immigration was okay for you?
It was okay. They just asked where I'm working. I mean, why am I coming into the country? I just said my visa had stamped my company name
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
and my designation. So I work as a software engineer at this company. So that's why I'm coming into Germany. And she's my wife. So it was quick. It was like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah. And then you got in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the information till here, it was quite technical, and it was stressful. Now you are in Germany. So tell me about your struggle. So when you arrived here, and before arriving here, what kind of steps did you take? I guess you might have already seen some apartment for your accommodation.
Right.
And what are the steps you followed when you arrived here?
So getting a job was the easier part.
Yeah.
And getting apartment was
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's the fact. So getting job was like literally a easier part. So getting apartment is 10 times, 20 times tougher due to the war
Yeah.
situation, due to the inflation. And before, I mean, I got offer on February 14. I
Yeah.
checked the Wonder Flats, I mean, the websites to book an
Yeah. Yeah.
apartment. It was
Yeah.
very cheap. I thought I don't know how long visa process will take, so I will postpone the search later. Then the war happened, then the prices went up like anything. Even like a 400 square feet house cost like 1,200 euros. It was
Right.
very it was very hard to find an apartment. Somehow I got one for 1,200 euros because I had no choice. And
Yeah.
that is like 350 square feet. And I had no other
Oh.
choice. So after I had to book it, and I came here. Then here everything is like we have to book an appointment, we have to do this, we have to do that. Even for the city registration, you have to wait in a queue to get an appointment. And after city registration, you have to open a bank account, which you have to go to the bank. Then
Yeah.
for blue card appointment, I have to. There are a lot of people who are without appointment now. Some of me and my friends have tried day and night to get an appointment. Then I went to the blue card appointment. I still yet to get a blue card. I will be getting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes time. Yeah. Even for us, we received it. It was like middle of the pandemic when we came here. We also received it around in 7 months' time.
Yeah.
So
So
it takes
so the
time.
initial struggle is there. So coming from India is definitely coming from out of the comfort zone. So it will definitely take 2 to 3 months or up to 6 months to settle here peacefully. Once we are done with all the process, then it's peaceful. So until then, there is a initial struggle is there for sure.
Yeah. So you took help from Wonderflats
Yeah.
from India for finding apartment.
Yeah.
You booked apartment and you came here. So you straight went to the apartment which you
Yeah.
booked,
Yeah.
and then you did city registration within 2 days, right? When you
Yeah.
arrive here
Within 2 days.
within,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then you have to open a bank account
True.
that can you can do in a week or 2 weeks time when
Yeah.
you come here.
Yeah.
And uh, that accommodation which you take, was that like a longer time period or just for few
For,
weeks?
it's just for 3 months.
Yeah, then again you might
Again,
have
I have
to.
to change.
Yeah. So now you have, I guess, moved to a new apartment, right?
Yeah, I have moved to the permanent one. Yeah.
So then again, you have to, so every time you change your address, you have to go to city registration
Certification.
office
Yeah.
and you
And
have to
once you
change.
change the address, in blue card also, you have to go to the office and change the address in your blue card.
Right. Apart from house hunt and city registration and your bank account, any other thing that you did when you came here in Germany?
So finding a doctor is really tough. I had to visit
That's,
I had to visit doctor after landing here. So I had insurance, but I didn't have the card. So I had to
yeah,
send them fax to as a confirmation as I have a insurance. Finding a doctor is really tough. There is, even if you with something emergency, you can't do it as easy as in India. We just walk in. It's not really possible in Germany. That's the only thing which I find difficult until you get it. And also without the language, it's real struggle wherever you go.
that was my next question. Like, you did everything till
Hmm.
here, and how was the experience with the language?
Without, I even now I'm just starting with A 1.1.
Mm.
I'm still learning, but I cannot speak German very fluently. But I did these things without the language. It was very tough, to be honest.
Yeah.
In immigration office for blue card appointment, they spoke English, but apart from that, everywhere they did not speak English. We just had to maybe like if they want to ask for passport, they say give passport. Then we have to understand. We just have to guess what they are saying, and we have to do it. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's offended. So
Yeah. Yeah, also I have seen few examples when city registration. There are some people are lucky when they get English speaking person there,
true,
or sometimes it gets difficult when they have only German speaking people.
true.
So it gets very difficult for them who are getting somebody who is only speaking German.
Yeah.
So yeah, city registration part is quite important when people come here. Do you suggest candidates or people doing some basic language course before coming to
Yeah,
Germany?
definitely. I would definitely suggest it. Even if they don't have to enroll to a course, maybe they just, I mean, it takes a lot
Learn
of
from
effort
YouTube or something.
from
Yeah,
YouTube, from Google search. They just have to memorize few uh, sentences, what to speak, how to tell. So that will be really helpful.
yeah, yeah. That I do actually agree with this, because we also have faced quite a lot of problem when we came to Germany with English
Yeah,
and German. People usually don't speak English here, but if you are lucky, it is not too hard that you will not get anyone. You will get few people who speaks English also, but some places it very hard.
yeah.
Yeah. After your when you joined your company, how was your first day?
It was good. It was mostly onboarding process, like explaining about how things will work. And then it was I was given intro to every team members of the office. So
Yeah.
that's how into it went.
Did you have like nice welcoming vibes there, or did you feel like it was really nice joining this company?
Yeah, it was really nice. There were a lot of welcome kits, and we got to choose what equipment we want, like which laptop we
Oh,
want, what is the configuration of the laptop we want, and what are the
yeah.
accessories which we want. And there were a lot of options to customize according to our expectations, and there were a lot of welcome kits. So it was very nice.
So now the work from home situation is being revised, and many companies are open for working from office, and they are calling people for few days. So you might have got this opportunity to work with German people and
Yeah.
other people apart from our culture. So how is your experience with that?
Yeah, it's really nice. Before coming to Germany, so many people and in internet and my friends told me like Germans are very straightforward. They are very, they'll just say everything like openly. They won't sugarcoat like that. But people are friendly in the office actually. The German
Mhm.
people, even if you ask a doubt for the second time or third time, they will explain you.
Yeah.
So it's not really that difficult. People in the office are really cool. I mean, it's mostly common everywhere.
And what do you want to say about the timings? Because, timing is a bit strict part here.
Yeah,
So,
it's very flexible. Starting 9 to 6, 9 to 5 sometimes, but it's never like you have to log in at 9. You have to log out at 5. There is no hard and fast rule. We just have to be very punctual on attending the meetings. You should not be late.
yeah,
And apart from that, it's very flexible. Even if you want to get permission for 1 hour, they'll be cool. If you say you have a city registration at this time, so I will need 2 hours permissions, they are cool with it. And if you want leave, you can just take. You don't have to get permission. You just have to inform them that I'm taking leave. So these
that
kind of things are
yeah,
very cool. Especially here, you don't have to. You will never face a situation you will have to work after 6 p.m.
yeah, that is
So that is the main thing which I see as a great plus. Even if in India, even though work-life balance is great, sometimes you will have to work till 9 p.m. or so, or
yeah,
10 p.m. or even it'll go beyond that. But in Germany, it's I worked after 5 p.m.
yeah. Work-life balance is yeah,
Great.
great here. Yeah. This is really great information, and it is so nice to talk to you about your experience. And I guess we have covered all the point that anybody can face from the first step to arriving to the Germany. In
Mhm.
between, I would just like to ask you, if we close the call, like what you would like to tell other candidates how they should prepare, or any key points that they should look into when they are applying for jobs in Germany.
Right. So everyone wants to comes to Germany, like most of the people. And if I see the ratio when I was searching for the job, if it was 100 people, now it's 1,000 people who was applying for the job. So what I would suggest it uh, uh, also look for QA jobs or any other software jobs in any other countries. For example, Spain, Greece, Portugal, even all over Europe, they have a lot of openings. Even in Sweden, so you apply, have a filter, like have a 20-30 filter, and
Mm.
if you apply for 100 jobs a day, 30,000, 3,000 jobs a month, you will definitely get a call.
Yeah,
So come anywhere into the Europe. Once you come into the Europe, you can then after a year you can come to
you
the
can
Germany.
move, yeah, you can move to other countries once
So
you are in.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is the advice I am giving to my friends, because my friends has been applying for past 2 months. Like they
yeah,
have already applied for 1,000 jobs,
yeah,
1,500 jobs, but their interview is not getting scheduled because there are, like in Germany, after in past few months there are lots and lots of people are applying, because
yeah.
due to that they are not getting shortlisted. They are not getting shortlisted. But when I see EU, I see Germany is a very good place to work. So what I would suggest is get a job in somewhere in the EU. Obviously, you will get a blue card since
Right.
we come under the engineering category. And
Yeah,
once we get the blue card, we can try
yeah.
in Germany. That will be the
Taking
faster.
the job afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And technical point of view, any technology or for specifically for testing field,
Mhm.
what they should, how they should prepare, and what technology they should focus on right now for preparing in job interviews for Germany.
Okay. So what I would suggest is obviously Selenium with Java. But if you take Selenium with Java, there will be like 10,000 people. If you take Selenium with Python, there will be only 1,000 people. So the competition is less there.
Yeah.
So I see companies, I went through a lot of job openings. So I would say Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, then Cypress. So these, if you are very good with these three technologies, then I think you'll be eligible to attend all these any of the interviews, most of the interviews. Very rarely they will ask for a C sharp or any other technologies. So
Right.
so we have to be very good in all these three, then we can obviously attend. So take if someone is starting to look for a job, take a couple of months to prepare these things, and then start applying for the jobs.
Yeah. Um, Very last question. we have discussed about the technical and Selenium, Cypress, and for mostly automation. What do you think about manual jobs? Manual testing roles are there, or if somebody is expert in manual testing, can they apply from India? And are there any opportunities in Germany for the manual testers?
So out of three interviews that got scheduled, one of them is for manual.
Okay.
And I had to write a test case for the entire application. So I wrote around 800 test cases, and there were a lot of questions about that. So when you go into manual, if there is you can get a manual testing job, but it's very rare.
It's a bit
Rare. It's
challenging, and if there is one position, there will be so much competition.
Yeah, true. And you can crack it, and it's not impossible, but just takes time to get scheduled for the job. And it's better if we know automation, because eventually nobody would hire a candidate only knows manual.
They can hire candidates from their country itself if they are hiring for manual. If you have expertise in some other framework or some little bit on automation, so it gives you quite upper hand for job process and job search.
There are jobs, but like very few, very few. That's what I can say. In 100% of jobs, only 1% or 2% will be manual. But
This is amazing, Nishant.
That too, we are looking for only English-speaking jobs. There is another filter there.
Yeah, exactly. Because software testing with German proficiency is also there. So, it was really nice talking with you, Nishan. I guess you have answered all the questions. I was getting so many questions, all of them you have answered, and I guess it will help many people, many candidates who are looking for job change and who are searching jobs in Germany. And this is quite honest feedback from you. I hope it will help everyone. And everyone, please watch this video, and if you have any questions, please comment, and hopefully we will be able to answer. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Nishant, for coming in my channel and sharing your experience.
Thank you.